Hello everyone, my name is Victoria, and today I'm going to be informing you about pacemakers. More specifically, I'm going to be telling you about how the development of the artificial external pacemaker led to the creation of the implantable pacemaker. If I asked you all to carry around this shoebox for the rest of your life, what would your answer be? Now, if I changed my question and asked you to carry around this exact same shoebox that kept you alive, I bet some of your answers would change. Less than 70 years ago, this was the reality for people living with heart conditions. An external pacemaker was about the size of this box and had to be connected to patients through a series of cords and wires. Not to mention, it was heavily reliant on a power source, meaning that if a power failure were to occur, this could mean life or death for some people. Also, the weight of the box was extremely heavy, meaning that it always needed to rest on a tabletop. According to the American Heart Association, about 122 million Americans suffer from heart disease each year. That is about 50% of the total US population, with some of my family members being a statistic. It is really important to understand how these medical devices work and how they function to see how they impact society. In this speech, we will learn about how external pacemakers function. We will then transition into the technological advancements that made implantable pacemakers possible. Finally, we will learn about the impact that pacemakers have in the modern day world. To understand how the external pacemakers work to treat heart disease, we will learn about their mechanisms. Paul Zoll, who is a cardiologist, is heavily accredited for learning how to stimulate the heart. This was successfully done through taking metal electrodes and placing them on the chest of a patient directly over the heart. These metal electrodes were then connected to the rectangular box, which were used to control the heart. This was done through alternating current as well as vacuum tubes, which would send signals and impulses through a series of shocks and would emulate a normal heartbeat. Scrace, who is a UK cardiac researcher, says that this significantly reduced bradycardia, which is a type of heart disease that has abnormal heartbeats. Now that we have learned how external pacemakers function, we can look more into the technological advancements. So this is largely attributed to reliable power sources as well as transistors. A physicist by the name of Rune Elmquist actually developed a nickel-cadmium battery, and it had a rechargeable antenna. This meant that there was no more reliance on an external power source. Also, the vacuum tubes that I previously mentioned were completely replaced by circuitry transistors. This meant that it can now be put directly into the body. In the modern day world, a pacemaker is about the size of this portable sewing kit. Now that we understand the mechanisms and the technological advancements for the pacemakers, we can move into the impact they have in the medical world. There have been so many medical advancements in the scientific community just because of this cardiac device. Scientists have used similar techniques as the pacemaker to create devices for cardiac resynchronization. This meant that they can take leads, place them into the veins as well as the left ventricle of the heart, and this can actually decrease the electrical delay that a patient experiences. This means that there is an increased efficacy in the device to treat the patient. As well, continual advancements are still being made for a pacemaker itself. Scientists are looking at making the pacemaker to around the size of a large pill, meaning that can be inserted through IV treatment, ultimately removing the need for open heart surgery. Today we have learned about the functionality of external pacemakers as well as the technological advancements that made implantable pacemakers possible. We have also learned about the impact that they have in the medical field. A device that is so small yet powerful impacts millions of people around the world. Notably, the story about a young girl, B. Clark, who is 19, says that a pacemaker has forever changed her life for the better. I want to thank everyone for listening to my speech about heart pacemakers. I really hope that you can take this information to heart. Thank you.